With you in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Let us concentrate and let us see if this week is going to make a difference towards your learning. I am going to emphasize more on paraphrasing because now that we are getting to do more reading articles, and reading article is going to be a major part of your TOEFL iBT. So paraphrasing is very important. For those students who did submit last week's homework, some of you nailed it. Outstanding job. Well done. Some I still see that you're struggling, but that's okay. This is why we are here. This is why you're trying to learn. So and then we will hope that there's going to be improvement day by day and week by week. And obviously, you will have more homework. And I think I've done a little bit more examples to see what you can do. So this is another example. In American society, introverts are outnumbered about 3 to 1. As a result, they must develop extra coping skills early in life because there will be an inordinate amount of pressure on them to shape up to act like the rest of the world. The introvert is pressured daily, almost from the moment of awakening, to respond and conform to the outer world. Classroom teachers unwittingly pressure introvert students by announcing that 1/3 of your grade will be based on class participation. From Otto Kroeger and Janet M. Toyin type talk, the 16 personality type that determine how we live, love, work, New York, DL Publishing, 1989. So I'm emphasizing, trying to give you only a small paragraph, and I am also emphasizing that I am giving you reference, giving you the name of the article, giving you the name of the journal where it is coming, the year, name of the author, because it is very important that when you are going to be addressing review of a reading article, you need to provide that reference. So this is one possible paraphrasing. Nice and simple. There are many more extrovert than introvert in America. This puts a lot of pressure on introvert to fit in and be like everybody else. Even schools teachers add to this pressure by making class participation part of the student's grade. Consequently, introvert have to acquire additional skills to deal with these pressures. So notice there's no reference in this version, which is typically what we normally do under pressure. We just paraphrase and we forget some important. In America, there are more extrovert people than introvert people, about 3 times as many. This means that the introvert individual have to learn extra ways to handle things when they are young, because there are a lot of pressure on them to act like everyone else every day, starting from the moment they wake up. Introverts feel pushed to fit in, be like the other people. Even in the classroom, teachers might unknowingly put pressure on introverted students by saying things like, part of your grade depends on how much you participate in class. This information is taken from the book Type Talk, the 16 personality type that determines how we live, love, and work, by Otto Kroeger and Janet M. Toyin, published 1999 by Dell Publishing. So this is what I try to tell you, that there's going to be 2, and which one is the preferred. So this is the preferred response, and I am asking you guys to adapt this rather than the first one. Maybe I should make this one a different, see if it allows me to add in here preferred style. So when I share it with you, you'll be able to, there you go. So I even put preferred, and I even changed the color for you. There's a reading article, the first European to cross Australia. Robert Burke was born in Ireland, and he should have stayed there. He was not destined to be an explorer because he knew no survivor skills. However, after he read about the adventures of other explorers, he decided he wanted to be one too. I think I have actually covered this one in another topic with you. Let me just take a pause and let me just come to the screen and ask you, did we cover this? Can somebody? Yes, no? Oh, my memory is playing up with me then. Okay, I'll continue. I just didn't want to waste your time. That if I had done it. So he was not destined to be an explorer because he knew no survival skills. However, after he read about the adventures of other explorers, he decided he wanted to be one too. He wanted to be the first European to cross the continent of Australia. He succeeded but paid for it with his life. Robert made his decision when he was 40 years old. In 1860, he and his team of 19 men set off from the port of Melbourne, Australia, and headed north. Their goal was the Gulf of Carpentaria, which is 1,400 miles or 2,253 kilometers away. The group quickly ran into trouble because Burke had not done any research about Australia. This is what we call about doing your homework before you go on an adventure. The men did not have the proper clothing, footwear, or equipment for the environmental challenges they faced. Half of the year, there was no rain, and the continent interior was like a desert, with the wild fires and daytime temperature soaring to under 13 Fahrenheit or 45 degrees Celsius. 45 is very, we normally have that temperature in our summer, and at times here in Australia, it even reaches 49 and 50. Then the weather changed, and there was a daily deluge for 6 months and caused flash floods and deadly quicksands. Australia is very known for very strange weather. As Afghans, we always make fun of the weather. We say that we have 4 seasons in a day. Robert split up the team, leaving groups of men in several camps. Just he and 3 companions went behind Cooper's Creek camp. Charles Gray, John King, and William Wells accompanied him. In February 1861, the weary men saw the north coast. They had achieved their goal. Exhausted and running low on supply, they turned around. Soon they ran out of food and had to eat their horses. From then on, they had to walk. Their progress was slow and painful, and soon their boots were in terrible shapes. Charles died of starvation. At last, the trio of survivors staggered into the Cooper's Creek camp and collapsed. The rest of their team had left just hours before. But the men were too weak to follow. Robert and William died when not native Australian, the native Australians are known as the Aborigines, came upon the camp. They found John barely alive and nursed him back to health. This is a sample essay. The ill-fated expedition of the Robert Burke, a tragic tale of exploration. So that was the reading article. This was just a reading article, and this is an essay on that article. Robert Burke, a native of Ireland, embarked on a perilous journey that would forever hitch his name in the annals of exploration history. Born far from the arid landscapes of Australia, Burke audacious dreams of becoming the first European traverse to traverse the continent proved to be fatal pursuit. While his ambition was commendable, his lack of survival skills and inadequate preparation for the challenges of the Australian wilderness ultimately led to a tragic end. At the age of 40, Burke, inspired by the exploits of other explorers, set out on a daring mission with a team of 19 men in 1860. Departing from the port of Melbourne, their destination was the Gulf of Carpentaria, an ambitious 1,400 miles journey through the heart of the Australian continent. Burke's shortcomings as an explorer quickly became apparent as the expedition encountered numerous hardships. The lack of research about the Australian environment proved disastrous. With the team ill equipped to face the harsh conditions, the continent's interior, often resembling a desert, presented challenges such as wildfires and a scorching daytime temperature reaching under 30 Fahrenheit, equivalent to 45 degrees Celsius. Unpredictable weather added to their woes, alternating between 6 months of drought and flash flood, accompanied by deadly quicksands. Despite the unfavorable condition, Burke made the fatal decision to split the team, because if they were together, at least more people would have had a better chance of survival. Leaving groups in various camps while he and three companions ventured further. They will remain battling exhaustion and dwindling supplies, finally glimpsed the north coast in February 1861, marking the realization of their goal. However, the triumphant moment was short-lived as the return journey became an arduous struggle for survival. And it is continuing. Running out of food, the men resorted to eating their horses, and with worn-out boots hindering their progress, the trio faced a slow and a painful journey. Charles succumbed to starvation, and when they reached Coops Creek's camp, Robert and William were too weakened to continue. Tragically, both men lost their lives. The surviving member, John, barely alive, was fortunate to encounter the native Australian who nursed him back to health. The desolate scene at the Cooper's Creek camp served as a poignant reminder of the consequences of unchecked ambitions and insufficient preparation. Robert Burke's ill-fated expedition stands as a cautionary tale, tightening the importance of met, met, that's what is mouthful to me, planning and understanding the challenging in earth and expedition territories. Now, this one is a little bit probably easier, and I have a feeling that if you get a reading article that is more like a history, I think that you guys will do well. Why? Because a reading article that is based on history, you can paraphrase much easier compared to articles which is more of knowledge or items that we don't know much, which has been the challenge that we have given you. But that was not the only one. So now we are getting into the proper TOEFL IBT. So as I've mentioned from the beginning, you will, for this, for the writing part, you will be given a reading article. It is going to be the reading articles that you also do your readings, um, and you're going to be given an audio, and you will always be given, so far the uh, word count has not changed. It is always about 280 to 300, which this week I started telling many of you, or few students that did make submission, saying that it's very important that you start doing your word count. Some of you are submitting your essay short of the 280. Some of you are going writing your essay and go to 400 words. So now that you have practiced enough, I really want you to be cautious and start paying attention to your words. So the reading article that is going to be now, and I have given you a essay example, is protecting uh, peregrine falcons. The peregrine falcon is an iconic species of birds known for its impressive hunting abilities and aerial acrobatics. These birds are found on every continent except Antarctica, but their populations have declined, meaning that it reduced in some areas due to a variety of factors. Here are three ways to increase the peregrine falcon population. So this introduction to the reading article is very important because it tells us what the reading article is about, and then it also tells us that what ways it's going to discuss why there's a danger of losing, and then it also gives us three ways that is going to be, there's a chance of recovery. So when you are supposed to be picking and rewarding, you really need to summarize it in one short sentence and not make it long. First, we can protect a nesting site. Peregrine falcon requires a specific type of nesting site in order to reproduce successfully. These sites are often found on cliffs or tall buildings and can be disrupted or destroyed by human activities such as construction or development. It is possible to work with landlords or developers to protect these sites from destruction or disturbance. By protecting these sites, we can help ensure that the peregrine falcons have the space they need to nest and raise their young ones. Another method is to control the population of predator of the falcon. Peregrine falcons are extremely vulnerable to predations, especially when they are young and unable to defend themselves. By controlling the population of the predators that prey on them, such as other birds of prey or mammals, which we can help protect the falcons and increase their chance of survivals. This could include using non-lethal methods such as deterrence or repellents to keep predators away. In some cases, it may also be necessary to relocate predators to areas where they are less likely to come into contact with peregrine falcons. Finally, we can I don't know what's happening with me today. Finally, we can rehabilitate injured or sick falcons. Peregrine falcons can become injured or sick due to a variety of reasons, including pollution, disease, or human interferences. By rehabilitating these birds and releasing them back into the wild, we can help boost peregrine falcon population and give them a second chance at life. Now, the next slide I don't have the audio. This is why I said I'm going to have to edit it. So when you're going to be receiving, you're going to be having an audio. Um, and you will be clicking on it and you should be able to play it. In the past, when I have done the lectures, the audio that I normally embed into my PowerPoint, when I play it for some reason, students don't hear it clearly. So I'm going to save your time and I will not play it. But what I will do is I will also put the recording um, as an extra, file in Telegram. So I want you to really listen to it because that is crucial for you. So this is a very useful tool for you in terms of writing the essay. And I've tried to bold it for you also. So the reading and the lecturers are about methods to protect. So this is the essay is that I'm giving you is coming from the actual TOEFL iBT website. The reading and the lecturer or the lecture are about methods of protecting peregrine falcon population. The author feels, so this is about the reading article. The author feels, so you could say the author feels, or you could say the reading article, that we can do this by protecting their habitat, controlling their predator, helping the injured falcon. So the 3 points that they said that they're going to do it, right away in the essay, they have put that one in, and obviously they will go into detail. Then right away in the essay, they are talking about the lecturer. The lecturer does not believe that. And this is what you're going to, you will start seeing it. The reading article and the lecturers are always going to be opposing. The lecturer is always, with evidence, rejects the ideas of the reading. Quite often, only one point is agreed, the other points are disagreed. But this is something that you have to read and you have to listen and you have to pick it up yourself. First of all, the author argues that we can protect their nesting area, which are usually located on the sides of the cliff or tall buildings, from human activities. According to the article, it's possible to collaborate with the developers to ensure that the birds have plenty of room to raise their youngs. On the other hand, the lecturers, right away, they are putting 1 point and they are talking about the lecturer, whether the lecturer agrees or disagrees. On the other hand, as soon as you say on the other hand, you already know that the lecturer doesn't agree with the idea. The lecturer says that it is very hard to identify and locate nesting sites since they are often located on private property. Moreover, it's hard to balance the needs for the falcons and birds since they often nest in urban areas. So the reason is always in the audio. Nobody's asking you to do research. You just have to listen and take note. Second, according to the article, we could assist the falcons by controlling the population of their predator. The author suggests using non-lethal methods to achieve this, or even relocating them. In the same case, the lecturer challenged this idea as well. He notes that there will be unintended consequences of using this approach. He thinks that if we reduce the population of one species of the predator, we could inadvertently increase the population of some of the other predators, which could put the falcons at risk. Finally, the author suggests treating and rehabilitating injured or sick falcons that could have been affected by population or interference of the human. After treating these birds, we could release them back into the wild. In contrast, the lecturer notes that this is an expensive and time-consuming process, and it's only for individual birds. He argues other factors such as bigger impact on the overall population, so treating individual birds may not be effective. So I've been telling you from the first week that you really need to start. So we have practiced enough on reading article. Now it's time to practice on audio and reading articles, which I think some of you were impatient with me why I was not giving you this ready, but I knew that you're not ready, and only probably about one or two students, the others would have a difficulty, but now I think we're going to be doing it. So I'm going uh, to gosh, I will share this with you with one reading articles and as well as the audio. Most probably, I want you to try the same topic that I've given you because I want to see what you're going to be writing based on what I've already given you. So I've given you an essay. So on the same reading article and the audio, I want to see what can you do. And the good thing is you have an example, but you can't copy the example and give it as yours. So you really need to do it as your own word. It could be simple, whatever you want to do. That's perfectly fine by me. And that's it. So I'm just going to come back to you and see if you have any questions. Answer your questions, and let's see. Any questions? I might actually stop the recording because the questions don't need to be